Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. Here's a look at our market leading stocks for the coming week. This is going to be for Monday, November 3rd, 2014. Got a bit of a distribution day going, even though we're up considerably on the day here on the NASDAQ patch. You can see the overweight here on the sell side that we're seeing a fair amount of contra candles. We're trading up on the day positively, but below the day's open. Got a couple of volume bumps here. We've got one in Broadcom that's also got a downside RPS, so that's going to be a notable one for Monday. Biogen, good distance below the day's VWAP. Take a look at the Amgen setup on the daily. That's actually pretty interesting. Starting to fail here at range high. First Solar, strong day to the upside, but on light volume. Juniper's trading some decent volume with a downside indication on Monday. Netflix and Google are the two that are trying to buck the trend with a bit of a upside indication for Monday. Moving on to the financials. Again, you can see we're mostly stacked up to the downside here. The buy indications are fewer and further between. Got a volume bump in the CME. Also, MasterCard's following through with volume, as is Visa today. Energy names a little bit better to the buy side. We do have some deviations. CHK, Devon, and PBR all have open and close deviations to the upside, but unfortunately none of them have extraordinary volume today. Moving on to the generals, stacked up here with contra candles to the downside for the most part. Nothing's got a volume bump nor a real deviation. Walmart's the closest, down a little bit more than 1% below the day's open. That one's actually being sold off into the close, as you can see the distance below the day's VWAP there. Housing names a little bit better for sale on fairly typical volume. Transportation names definitely stacked up to the downside, except for American Airlines is the only one with upside indication there. The UPS has a downside RPS with the volume bump, so that's going to be interesting for Monday. Commodities are kind of a mixed bag. Gold was very much in motion today. We had some extremely low opens on a lot of these names. Double G Gold Corp is trying to bounce back and close above the day's open by close positively on the day. It's obviously well above the day's open. So getting some big volume flushes here. So it appears as if they're trying to, we're certainly getting a little bit closer to a bottom than they had been before this. But again, post-Fed, seeing some movement today. Obviously, the movement is very much being driven by the Central Bank of Japan. But definitely these are in motion, and make sure you're aware of where the nearby technicals are for next week. All right, folks, as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.